Hello everybody and welcome to another video, another setup guide, and this time we are at Italy, my most hated track. As you can see, I'm awfully slow and I just not much talking, just jump right in. And first up we have the aerodynamics, and this is already a pretty big talking point. As you can see, I've chosen two 6 wings, but in terms of front wing I don't think that you have much choice. You either choose one front wing or two front wing. One front wing is theoretically faster, I think, in quali and in the race. However, the understeer can cause you to invalidate and get warnings, which I really dislike. How the car felt in Ascari, especially with one front wing. That's why I just use two front wing. But I think one and two front wings both fine. You have to try out and see which one fits you better. Rear wing. If you go, you have basically three choices. You can use 5, 6, or 7 front wing. 7 rear wing only with one front wing though. So you can use 2, 5, and then a more stable setup in other parts. That's something that is particularly fast in the race and particularly slow in quali. 1, 6 is kind of the golden standard, the middle thing that most people use. If they are not understeering in Ascari, if they're understeering in Ascari, then they are often using 2 6 wings. And 1 7 is something if you're particularly harsh on tire wear or want to be particularly quick in quali. 1 7 wings is probably the fastest you can get for qualifying. 1 5 is a particularly fast race setup if you can handle the lack of rear grip. We even have maniacs running 1 4 in race situations, but I really wouldn't recommend it. For the transmission, we have 50 on throttle diff and off throttle diff. It depends very much again on your aerodynamics and your suspension. I chose 54 off throttle diff for 2 6 wings, which is quite high. I think 53 and 52 are both possible. If you were to run 1 6 wings, I would go with 52, or 1 7 wings, for example. If you were 1 5, I would go back to 54. And some, but also aggressive suspension settings would allow something like 53 off throttle diff to be possible. This is something that you have to tweak and adapt to your own setup. Suspension geometry is something that really does not have a lot of leeway. It's pretty much right, left, left, left. There is really no reason to change this. The camber is the fastest. There is no corner where you spin because you have too much front or not enough rear camber. And toe is just not good enough because there's not enough slow corners in Monza. You'd think there are, but really there's only turn 1. Turn 1 is a slow corner, and if you increase the front toe, the car just gets more unstable in all the other corners, which you don't want. So I wouldn't recommend adding front toe, and rear toe likewise. Suspension, I've gone with 1.9, 1.10, 6.3, but again there's a lot of leeway. There are like 2 different main thinking ideas that you can have. So the first one is the one I've gone with, is a more passive suspension and either more front wing or lower off throttle diff. So something like this totally works. So you run lower suspension, have it your turn in coming either from the off throttle or the front wing, and you have a very good rotation and directional change due to your aggressive roll bars. So this setup is particularly good in Ascari, in the chicane, and will definitely be quick in the long Lesmos. But this is also the setup that can definitely wear the rear left tire the most, because it will put quite a lot of load on the rear left tire through the Lesmos. On the other side, we can have a more traditional setup with high rear suspension and more passive roll bars. This will be particularly good for the instant turn-in and then the stability through the Lesmos. However, it will be quite understeery through the Lesmos, and it will protect the rear tires a bit. So these are the 2 main setup thinkings that you will have to test out. Is it either do you want more aggressive suspension or do you want more aggressive roll bars? As I said, I went with the more aggressive roll bars. It just felt a bit better to me, pretty much. And ride height, this is really where you do not have a lot of leeway. It is gonna be inverted for Monza all the time. 2 main reasons. First one, there is a ton of straights, so the front ride height and the inverted will give you a lot of top speed increase, and you're taking a lot of curb. So you need some ride height. You can't just run one free ride height and be quick on the straight. You need the curb to be able to take the second chicane, or to take the first chicane turn 1, and to take the curb in the Scari. You can also run 6.2 ride height. It's quite oversteer though, you're gonna have to be wary of that. You can run 7.3 ride height, 6.3, that's like the 2 main options I'd recommend. Brake pressure is 100 and 50 by default. If you get into an early safety car, which is where we come back to strategy, and you want to use the hard tires, I'd recommend upping the front brake bias to 51 or 52 to protect those hard tires from getting a puncture. But otherwise, it's a simple soft to medium or medium to soft one stop. You can pit quite early onto the mediums, quite definitely more early than the game suggests. You can pit like lap 9 or lap 10, as opposed to what I did, which was lap 12, and the mediums will still make it. Be wary though that the old tires will always feel like absolute crap in Monza, no matter what you do. So like there's really not much you can do about that one. In the end, these are my sectors if you want like a semi-comparable lap, and I put Bari in there as a reference if you want to be like an esports kind of level lap. Bari really messed up the first sector on his hot lap, by the way. If he nails that, it would have been a 0.2, so that's something to keep in mind. And I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one, which is going to be Australia. A track I haven't driven in months, and I'm not really looking forward to it either. See ya, bye bye.